Before we start, I just want to say everyone has their own way of making pizza dough. This is just the way that I've been making it for years and I love it. Let's start with 300 milliliters of lukewarm water. Crumble a block of yeast into it. Add a teaspoon of sugar to feed the yeast and stir until it has dissolved completely. I feel like the perfect lukewarm temperature is difficult to find. It's better to err on the colder side than making it too hot and killing the yeast. This really is a hit and miss type of deal for me. Sometimes the yeast reacts beautifully and sometimes it doesn't. While waiting for the yeast to activate, let's prepare some flour. 500 grams into a bowl, and I'm making a little pit in the middle for the yeast. After 5 minutes, the yeast should be ready, and yeah, I think this is as good as it's going to get. So let's just pour it into the flour and scrape a little flour from the edges on top without mixing it. Now let's cover it with a clean kitchen towel and let the dough rest in a warm place for an hour. Living in a country where warm spots are quite rare, I found a really good technique to give the dough the warmth it needs. I take a casserole dish and fill it with hot water and place it on the bottom of my oven. Then I place the dough on an oven tray and place that in the oven as well. Now I can make homemade pizza even in the deepest winter. After an hour, the yeast mixture in the middle of the flour should have become nice and bubbly. Now we can add some olive oil and salt, and with extra flour at the ready, we can begin mixing. Before using any of the extra flour, make sure you have actually incorporated everything in the bowl. Keep mixing until it comes together and forms into a ball. Look, nothing left in the bowl, and I didn't have to use any extra flour. Now that the ball is back in the bowl, cover it up once again and put it in the warm spot for another hour. During this time, let's prepare a super simple sauce. This dough is enough for 2 pizzas, and because I live alone, I'm going to prepare the sauce in a leftover container for less cleanup, but just imagine it's a bowl. Anyway, in a bowl, add pureed tomatoes and mix in your spices. Salt, pepper, oregano, garlic, and chili. The best part of making your own pizza is that you have full control over everything. Spice it up however you want. If you want the sauce to be thicker, add tomato paste. If you want little chunks of olives or mushrooms, add them here too. It's all up to your imagination. Now that another hour has passed, the dough has risen perfectly. All that's left to do is to knead it one more time for a couple of minutes until it comes together again. Now I'm just measuring and dividing the dough in 2 here so I can make another pizza tomorrow. I leave the dough in a sealed container in the fridge overnight. If you want to do this too, take the dough out of the fridge a couple of hours before you want to start handling it, just so that it can warm up to room temperature and is easier to handle. On a floured surface, let's flatten out the dough and roll it into shape. I like a really thin pizza, which is why I'm really pushing it to the edges of the parchment paper. Now we can add the tomato sauce and spread it out. Add the toppings. Here I have some vegetarian pepperoni and some ripped up mozzarella florets. I used to be the kind of guy who put an entire pack of grated cheese on pizza, but I found it just overwhelms it so much, and just a few mozzarella pieces makes it taste so much better. Then we put it into a preheated oven at 240 degrees Celsius on the top rack for about 10 minutes. After that time, you can check if the pizza is cooked to your liking. I left it in for a couple minutes more, and this is what came out. And it looks absolutely gorgeous. I'm just gonna go grab myself a slice, and here it is. A simple homemade pizza. As I said before, making your own pizza is great. You can put whatever you want on it, and oh dude, careful, it's hot! Great, now you burned the roof of your mouth. I guess make sure you let the pizza cool a bit before eating it. I know it's hard.